Yeah.
Now,
Hello and good afternoon, everyone. This is S. Ritu Medhavi here, extending hearty greetings of Raksha Bandhan on behalf of our revered Kalyani ma'am and all those who have been extending their valuable time and cooperation to run this such a wonderful program, Test Reading Club, which has been organized by cooperative efforts of all of you and monitored and managed by a revered teacher. As all of you know, how reading of primary text is very important and inevitable for all literary students. In this aspect, this is a very good platform which has been organized by Kalyani ma'am. Her lectures are also available on Unacademy, Udemy. She also runs various courses for NTA Net. Those who are aspiring to acquire success and achieve success in their lives should definitely attend their lectures. On this platform, as usual, we are reading Macbeth Act 2nd today. Over to our narrator, Princey.
a tragedy of Macbeth, Act 2, Scene 1. Enter Banquo and Fleance with a torch before him. How goes the night, boy?
The moon is down. I have not heard the clock.
And she goes down at 12.
I take it is later, sir.
Hold, take my sword. He gives his sword to Fleance. There's a husbandry in heaven. Their candles are all out. Take thee that too. A heavy summons lies like lead upon me, and yet I would not sleep. Merciful powers, restrain in me the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. Enter Macbeth and a servant with a torch. Give me my sword. Who's there?
A friend.
What, sir? Not yet at rest? The king's abate. He hath been in unusual pleasure, and sent forth great largesse to your officers. This diamond he greets your wife withal, by the name of most kind hostess, and set up in measureless content. He gives Macbeth a jewel.
Being unprepared, our will become the servant to defect. Which else should free have wrought?
All's well. I dreamt last night of the three weird sisters. To you they have sowed some truth.
I think not of them. Yet, when we can entreat an hour to serve, we would spend it in some words upon that business, if you would grant me the time.
At your kindest leisure.
If you shall cleave to my consent, when it shall make honor for you.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it, but still keep my bosom franchised and allegiance clear. I shall be counselled.
Good repose the while.
Thanks, sir. The like to you. Banquo and Fleance exit.
Go, bid thy mistress, when my drink is ready, she strike upon the bell. Get thee to bed.
Servants exit.
Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle towards my hand? Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation, proceeding from the heat oppressed brain? I see thee yet in form as palpable as that which now I draw.
He draws his dagger.
Thou marshalst me the way thou wast going, and such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes are made the fools over the other senses, or else worth all the rest. I see thee still, and on thy blade and dungeon gouts of blood, which was not so before. There's no such thing in the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Now over the one half world, nature seems dead, and wicked dreams abuse. The curtains sleep, witchcraft celebrates, pale hecats of rings and withered murder. Alarmed by the seneschal, the wolf, whose howl his watch, thus with his stealthy pace, with Tranquil's ravishing strides towards his design, moves like a ghost. Thou sure and firm set earth, hear not my steps, which way they walk, for fear thy very stones prate of my whereabouts, and take the present horror from the time which now suits with it. Whilst I treat, he gives word to heat of deeds, too cold breath gives.
A bell rings.
I go and it is done. The bell invites me, hear it not, Duncan, for it's a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
He exits. Scene 2. Enter Lady Macbeth.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark! Peace! It was the owl that shrieked, the fatal bellman, which gives the stillness good night. He is about it. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets, that death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die.
Who's
Macbeth
there?
from within.
Who's there? What? How?
Alack, I'm afraid they have waked, and it's not done. That attempt and not the deed confounds us. Hark! I laid their daggers ready. He could not miss them. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it.
Enter Macbeth with bloody daggers.
My husband,
I have done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did not you speak?
When?
Now,
As I descended?
hey,
Hark! Who lies in the second chamber?
Donald Bing,
This is a sorry sight.
a foolish thought, to say a sorry sight.
There's one did laugh in his sleep, and one cried murder. That they did wake each other. I stood and heard them, but they did say their prayers and addressed them again to sleep.
There are two lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and Amen the other, as they had seen me with the hangman's hands, listening to the fear. I could not say Amen when they did say, God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore could I not pronounce Amen? I had most need of blessing, and Amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice cry, Sleep no more. Macbeth does murder sleep, the innocent sleep, sleep that knits up the revealed sleeve of care, the death of each day's life, sore labor's bath, balm of heart's mind, great nature's second course, chief nourisher in the life's feast.
What do you mean?
Still it cried, Sleep no more. To all the house, Glamis hath murdered sleep, and therefore Cawdor, sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? Why, worthy Thane, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain sickly of things. Go, get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why did you bring these daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go, carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I'm afraid to think what I have done. Look on it again. I dare not.
In form of purpose, give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. It's the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I will gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt.
Lady Macbeth exits. with the daggers, knock within.
Whence is that knocking? How is it with me when every noise appalls me? What hands are here? Ha! They pluck out mine eyes. With all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? No, this is my hand will rather the multitudinous seas in Cardantine, making the green ones red.
Enter Lady Macbeth.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white.
Knock.
I hear a knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy is it then? Your constancy hath left you unattended. Hark, more knocking. Get on your nightgown, lest occasion call us, and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deeds, it were best not known myself. Wake, Duncan, with thy knocking. I would thou couldst.
They exit. Scene 3. Knocking within, enter a porter.
Here's a knocking indeed. If a man were porter of Hellgate, he should have an old turning the key. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? In the name of Beelzebub? Here's a farmer that hanged himself on the expectation of plenty. Come in time, have napkins enough about you. Here's you will sweat for it. Knock, knock. Who's there in the other devil's name? Faith. Here's an equivocator that could swear in both the scales against either scale, who committed treason and now for God's sake, yet could not equivocate to heaven. Oh, come in, equivocator. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? Faith. Here's an English tailor. Come hither for stealing out of a French horse. Come in, tailor. Here's you may roast your goose. Knock, knock. Never it quiet. What are you? But this place is too cold for hell. I will devil porter it no farther. I had thought to have let in some of all professions that go the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire. Anon, anon.
The porter opens the door to Macduff and Lennox.
I pray you, remember the porter.
Was it so late, friend? Or you went to bed that you do lie so late?
Faith, sir, we were carousing till the second cook, and drink, sir, is a great provoker of three things.
What three things does drink especially provoke?
Marry, sir, nose painting, sleep, and urine. Lechery, sir, it provokes and unprovokes. It provokes the desire, but it takes away the performance. Therefore, much drink may be said to be an equivocator with lechery. It makes him and it mars him. It sets him on and it takes him off. It pursues him and disheartens him, makes him stand to and not stand to. In conclusion, equivocates him in a sleep and giving him the lie, leaves him.
I believe drink gave thee the lie last night.
That it did, sir, in the very thought on me, but I requited him for his lie, and I think, being too strong for him, though he took up my legs sometimes, yet I made a shift to cast him.
Is thy master stirring?
Enter Macbeth.
Our knocking has awakened him. Here he comes.
The porter exits.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow, both.
Is the king stirring, worthy Thane?
Not yet.
He did command me to call timely on him. I have almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to him.
I know this is a joyful trouble to you, but yet it is one.
The labor we delight in physics pain. This is the door.
I will make so bold to call, for it is my limited service.
Macduff exits.
Goes the king hands today?
He does. He did appoint so.
The night has been unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down, and as they say, laments heard in the ear, strange screams of death, and professing with accents terrible of dire combustion and confused events. Now hath to the woeful time. The obscure bird clamored the livelong night. Some say the earth was feverous and did shake.
It was a rough night, indeed.
My young rememberers cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Enter Macbeth.
Oh, horror, horror, horror! Tongue nor heart cannot conceive nor name thee.
What's the matter?
Confusion now hath made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder hath broke up the Lord's anointed temple and stole thence the life of the building.
What is it you say? The life?
Mean you his majesty?
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight with a new gorgon, nor do not bid me speak. See and then speak yourself.
Macbeth and Lennox exit.
Awake, awake, ring the alarm bell. Murder and treason, Banquo and Donalbain. Malcolm, awake, shake off this drowny sleep, death's counterfeit, and look on death itself. Up, up, and see the grey doom's image. Malcolm, Banquo, as from your graves, rise up and walk like spirits to countenance this horror. Ring the bell.
The bell rings. Enter Lady Macbeth.
What's the business? That such a hideous trumpet calls to parley the sleepers of the house? Speak, speak.
O gentle lady, it is not for you to hear what I can speak. The repetition in a woman's ear would murder as it fell.
Enter Banquo.
O Banquo, Banquo, our royal master is murdered.
Oh, Allah! What? In our house?
Too cruel anywhere. Dear Duff, I prithee, contradict thyself, and say it is not so. Enter Macbeth, Lennox, and Ross.
Had I but died an hour before this chance, I have lived a blessed time. For from this instant, there's nothing serious in morality. All is but toys. Renown and grace is dead. The wine of life is drawn, and the mere lees is left this world to brag of.
Enter Malcolm and Donalbain. What is amiss?
You are here and do not know the spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal father is murdered.
Oh, by whom? Those of his chamber, as it seemed, had done it. Their hands and face were all buzzed with blood. So were their daggers, which unerringly found upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted. No man's life was to be trusted with them.
Oh, yet I do repent me of my fury that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who can be wise, amazed, temperate, and furious, loyal and neutral in a moment? No man. The expedition of my violent love outturned the pauser, reason. Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood, and his gashed stabs looked like a breach in nature. For ruin's wasteful entrance, there the murderers. Steeped in the colors of their trade, their daggers unmannerly breached with gore. Who could refrain that had a hurt to love, and in that hurt courage to make love's known?
Help me hence, oh.
Look to the lady.
Malcolm aside to Donalbain.
Why do you hold our tongues, that most may claim this argument for ours?
Donalbain aside to Malcolm. What should be spoken here? Where our fate, hid in an auger hole, may rust and seize us. Let's away, our tears are not yet brewed. Malcolm aside to Donalbain.
Nor our strong sorrow upon the foot of motion.
Look to the lady. Lady Macbeth is assisted to leave, and when we have our naked frailties hid, that suffer in exposure, let us meet and question this most bloody piece of work. To know it further, fears and scruples shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and thence against the undivulged pretense I fight of treasonous malice.
And
Malice.
so do I.
To
So do
all.
all. Let's briefly put on manly readiness and meet in the hall together.
Well
Well
contented,
contented.
all but Malcolm and Donalbain exit.
What will you do? Let's not consort with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office which the false man does easy. I will to England.
To Ireland I. Our separated fortunes shall keep us both the safer. Where we are, there's daggers in men's smiles, the near in blood, the nearer bloody.
This murderous shaft that's shot hath not yet lightened, and our safest way is to avoid this aim. Therefore, to horse, and let us not be dainty of leave taking, but shift away. There's warrant of that theft which steals itself whence there no mercy left.
They both exit. Scene 4. Enter Ross with an old man.
60 and 10 I can remember well, within the volume of which time I have seen hearts dreadful and things strange. But this sore night had trifled former knowings.
Ha! Good father, thou seest the heavens as troubled with man's act, threatens his bloody stage by the clock this day, and yet dark night strangles the travelling lamp. Is it night's predominance or a day's shame that darkness does the face of earth and tomb when living light should kiss it?
It is unnatural, even like the deed that's done. On Tuesday last, I falcon, towering in her pride of place, was by a mousing owl hawked at and killed.
And Duncan's horses? A thing more strange and certain? Beauteous and swift, the minions of their race, turned wild in nature, broke their stalls, flung out, contending against obedience as they would make war with mankind.
It is said they eat each other.
They did so, to the amazement of mine eyes that look upon it.
Enter Macduff. Ross.
How does the world stir now?
Why, see you not?
Is it known who did this modern bloody deed?
Those that Macbeth hath slain.
Alas, the day! What good could they pretend?
They were suborned. Malcolm and Donalbain, the king's two sons, are stolen away and fled, which puts upon them suspicion of the deed.
Against nature still? Thriftless ambition that will ravin up thine own life's means? Then 'tis most like the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He is already named and gone to Scone to be invested,
Where is Duncan's body?
carried to Comskill, the sacred storehouse of his predecessors and guardians of their bones.
Will you to Scone?
No, cousin, I will to Fife.
Well, I'll titter.
Well, may you see things well done there? Adieu, lest our robes sit easier than our new.
Farewell, father.
God's benison go with you and with those that would make good of bad and friends of foes.
All exit. End of Act 2. The Tragedy of Macbeth.
Thank you everyone for staying with us. Please don't forget to put your valuable suggestion in the comment box. And if any one of you wishes to volunteer, just leave a message and we'll be sharing our link with you. So meet you next Sunday at 2 p.m. only at Tess Reading Club. Thank you, one and all.